What is up, YouTube? NYKia31.
They'll work the right side.
You ever have
a pickup of about
one of those stretches where you just can't catch a break, and it seems like you're battling the game as much as you're battling who you're playing? I haven't won a game in Madden in about a week. and the thing is, I'm not doing anything different than what I usually do, except for maybe playing with a couple more teams. You know, I'm still, playing the same style I always do, calling the same type of plays I usually do, but it seems like the laws of probability are all catching up to me all at the same time. You know, you play a game enough, you see pretty much all the different variables that can come together, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But it just seems like that everything is coming up short all at the same time. Like guys are either a little bit late or a little bit early, or they missed the ball, or I throw the ball a bit too early, I throw the ball a bit too late. Everything just seems off. And I think I know why. This is probably what I get for playing with too many teams, now that I think about it. I usually play with, my Jets, and then I pick maybe one or two other teams at the max that has a lot of players I like to watch play and, play with them, just to add a little bit of variety. But lately I've been playing with the Jets, the Falcons, the Colts, the Bears, the Vikings, the Eagles,
and the Falcons will have a first
and it's just not going very well. So I guess the moral of the story is pick a couple of teams and stick with it.
First down, and they're very
I'm like someone who likes to know the ins and outs of their roster, what their players can do, and once you learn how a
sweep left
certain team plays, then you're then able to, feel a lot more confident as far as what you're doing. But I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things.
He's dropped down at the 33.
Everything bounces out sooner or later.
Not much a defense can.
But anyway, we got a couple of more weeks until NCAA 12.
Has just been so active.
And truth be told, it's a little bit hard to go back to playing NCAA 11. NCAA. That play right there is a classic example of what I'm talking about. I'm in cover 3, my free safety is there to make the play, and he misses the ball. That maybe happened to me 1 out of 100 times. But everything like that can happen out of 100 times is happening all in this one game.
Down the sideline.
Roddy White scooting and tying the game up. Don't worry, I'll give up another score. I was giving up plays, giving up completions, giving up points all game long in this one. But anyway, we've all now had a chance to play the NCAA 12 demo, and,
Phillip Rivers has a big.
Here's the thing I want to know.
That, and he needed every bit of it on that front.
Let's say that EA
first down
makes
10 to go.
The game that everyone in the YouTube community has been clamoring for. And basically what I think the YouTube community wants is a game that plays like NFL 2K5 with an EA label on it. That's pretty much what I've been convinced about, at least certain segments of the YouTube community, that no matter how good an EA football game will be, they will spitefully find reasons to not play it, not support it, and find something wrong with it because of the fact that it's an EA football game. And I can respect that there are 2K fans out there that are still loyal to the product and whatnot and loyal to the brand. That's, certainly admirable, but, at the same time, you can't ignore what your eyes are showing you.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
And clearly to anyone that has eyes or fingers or hands and have played the demo or have spent some time looking at it, NCAA 12 is going to be a very good game. Madden 12 is going to be a very good game. And eventually what's going to happen is that people are going to run out of things to
has a man to his right.
pick apart. And when that happens, and I think that's going to be happening very, very soon, then what? Then what are you going to do? Because if you think about it,
Not only was that a tremendous
the worst thing that can happen to a 2K fan is for EA to continue to build and improve their product, because if they do that, obviously it's going to sell well, and both EA and the NFL will get what they want. You know? Good marketing, good promotion, good sales, everyone makes money all the way around. So, if that happens, what reason is there to open up the license for another gaming company to make a football game, an NFL football game? So, that's the dilemma I feel that 2K faces. You know, one of the things that I've, argued is that, as enjoyable as All-Pro Football 2K8 was for a while, eventually there came a time where that game was beginning to show its age and its shortcomings. And there was nothing stopping 2K from making an All-Pro Football 2K9, an All-Pro Football 2K10, and All-Pro Football 2K11. The question you have to ask yourself is, why didn't they? And as fun as I still find APF to play on some occasions, the fact of the matter is that All-Pro Football 2K8, failed. It didn't sell very well. And
they got him.
I believe that game came out in either June or July, but the second Madden came out, the All-Pro Football, gaming community rapidly deteriorated. You still had some, stalwarts there that kept the game going for a while, but now, the All-Pro Football 2K community is pretty much extinct. I don't know what it's like on Xbox anymore, but on PS3, you have maybe 15, 20 people online at a time. Maybe have 4 or 5 people in the lobby, and you have maybe a dozen people who I play with in online league. So that's not a very big, support unit. And eventually there's going to come a time where 2K will decide that it's not worth their while to keep those servers open and shut that game down. So, in a way, 2K has put themselves in this predicament as far as not having a viable, product to give their fans to play. That's not EA's fault. But anyway, that's my take on that as far as comments I've seen regarding the NCAA 12 demo. You're going to, go through a similar experience with Madden 12. There's going to be a segment of the population that's going to always say it's the same old game, EA's arcade, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to do that pretty much forever. There are people who are reasonable and will give credit where credit's due. There are people who are fans of EA and will, more or less always be fans of EA as well on the other side. Both sides have, a core fan base that's going to be loyal to the product. And then you have people who are ambivalent. They'll buy the game and play the game if they like it, and they won't play the game if they don't.
Here's the pass.
So, and that play right here is the coup de grace. That pretty much sums up everything I've been going through all week long. I call the right play, my guy's in position, but he whiffs on the play and gets up the touchdown. That pretty much sums it up. But, that's it for now. Going to be hooking up some more NCAA videos in the near future. And I can't wait to get my hands on that game, to get my hands on the custom playbook and really, sink my teeth into it. So, I'll check y'all later. Peace.
That'll do it from San Diego. Stay right there for the post-game highlight show. Here's one for the highlight reel. It's the Doritos Crunch Time Play of the Game. Our final in this one is the Chargers, 35. The Falcons, 28.
This has been a presentation of EA Sports and Madden NFL 11.